Hello everybody and welcome to Pathfinder Kingmaker. In the last episode, we managed to clear the Temple of the Elk and also kill the boar that Amiri wanted slain. So, we
In
returned
due time.
to Oleg's trading post in order to discuss our future plans and also tell Oleg about our new find. Tuskcutter is dead. You could mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Oleg looks at the blood-stained boar's head with respect, touching its tusk with his fingers to test how sharp it is.
That's one heck of a beast. I'd love to have a trophy like that, but a deal is a deal. The head goes to the old Benson, and his bounty goes to you.
Alright, 400 gold. Great. Also, let's trade. See what we can sell to him. Not much. Oh, everybody leveled up. A bunch of people leveled up, actually. Not everybody. And I think this is sort of filler episode. So yeah, we have Jod Capkin here, talking to Tristan. Let's talk to Amiri, because we haven't really talked to her the last one.
Hey, Chief.
Amiri gives you a broad grin.
What's in your mind?
So, have you proven yourself to be a mighty warrior?
I may have. The trial is finished, and if someone ever doubts me, I prove it.
Amiri shakes her fist at the unseen offender. So, I'm the chieftain of your new tribe. What do you expect from me?
Tribe always must have plenty of food. Tribe's enemies must be tough. Not some easy scum. Tribe's fighters must challenge the strongest enemies. Also, well, Amiri contemplates deeply. You must rule the tribe, make big decisions.
She waves her hand vaguely. Okay, and that's it for her. So I guess she considers you to be like her leader.
All according to plan.
Let's talk to Aaron. Aaron pulls his beard, muttering something that could be prayers or curses. Upon noticing you, he winces. Eh? What?
Oh, it's you, Jordyn. It's you, Jordyn.
I'd like to learn more about dwarves.
Most dwarves are self-satisfied, stubborn fools serving Torag. They don't deserve my good attitude.
Aaron winces.
But you can ask what you want to know. I'll try to answer.
Tell me about the Five King Mountains.
The Dwarven Kingdom? Yes. Well, it's to the south of here. It survived many trials, and there will be more yet to come.
Adam strokes his beard, contemplating.
There is no unity among the dwarves, Jordyn. The Five Kings rule over our people. They sit on the thrones of the 5 greatest cities, and with every passing day it grows harder for them to come to any agreement. The only thing uniting the Five Kings Mountains is the sky citadel of High Hell, the great dwarven fortress at the mountain's heart.
Have the dwarves always lived on the surface?
Oh no. Eons ago all dwarves lived deep beneath the surface, and they did rather well, judging by the historic records. They built fortresses befitting noble dwarves, but our restless god, Torag, sent us a prophecy, the quest for the sky. He ordered all the dwarves to abandon their fortresses and press upwards to show their birth to the sun, as they say. This journey was long and bloody. Many dwarves perished on the way, others turned back, keeping to their ancient strongholds, eventually to turn into evil Durgar, grey dwarves. But those who survived reached the surface and founded the Sky Citadels, the most glorious city in Dwarven history.
Tell me about them.
Oh, they are the peaks of creation, glorious cities built by the ancient dwarves who finally reached the surface after many hardships, performing the final labor in their quest for the sky on the surface of Golarion.
Adam's eyes glitter with admiration.
They are steadfast, tall, magnificent. They are beautiful. The 10 citadels were built by dwarves, but we've managed to keep only a few. The citadels crumbled, the orcs, sworn enemies of our people, trampled with their blessed streets and ruined the gorgeous palaces of the ancient kings.
Adam's eyes grow misty with tears.
These were heavy losses, but a disgrace to our people, Jordyn. High Helm is the jewel of the citadels that remain. It is located in the heart of the mountains, and the heart of every dwarf. Yes, yes, my heart too. There is a dwarven saying that if an enemy reaches High Helm, every dwarf from all the corners of the world will come to defend it.
Adam casts a sad glance at you.
I'd be there too, but not to help the citadel's defenders. I'd be there to witness the fall of our people with my own eyes and warm it. I would fall upon the cold stone and raise my final prayer to Grotus.
Okay, interesting. I'd like to talk about your god, Grotus.
You wish to learn about Grotus?
Adam seems surprised and pleased at the same time.
Yes, of course. I will never. I will never. I will answer anything you ask.
I still try to modulate a voice. I'm still not very good at it, so yeah. If you don't like it, don't watch it. What are Grotus's teachings about, in a nutshell?
Grotus is the end of all that exists.
Adam smiles. He obviously been waiting for this question.
Look around Jordyn. What do you see? Look again and realize that everything will be destroyed. Our clothing, our armor, will turn to dust. The walls of the palaces will crumble into ruins. The trees will fall. And you and I will die much sooner than that. Grotus is a timeless watcher. He's been locked away by Pharasma, the goddess of rebirth. From her boneyard, he watches over the world, knowing the time for the final reaping shall come. He's the floated moon hanging in the sky. He's the harbinger of the last days. He's the one who will stay when all the others are gone.
Pharasma has Grotus locked in her boneyard, so she's stronger than him.
Of course she's stronger. For now.
Adam nods with dignity, stroking his beard.
Grotus is weaker than Pharasma, and many other gods. I would be a fool if I tried to claim otherwise. If Grotus were stronger, the end times would have already come, wouldn't they? But the powers of other gods fade away. They dissolve slowly, a grain in a century. Grotus collects those grains and waits. He doesn't hurry. He knows that his time shall come.
Usually, clerics can speak with their gods. What does Grotus say to you? What is his will? Adam shakes his head in resignation.
Grotus doesn't speak to his clerics. Actually, Grotus doesn't need any clerics.
The dwarf raises his sad eyes to you.
He only allows his whispers to be heard, and only by those who are dying to hear them. His words are unclear, but they call to you. His voices come with the soft rustle of fallen leaves, with the woeful wailing wind of the mountain pass, with the roar of the raging blizzard, and he calls you to strike out on the road. Onwards, always onwards, over the pass, over the bridge and further along. Up ahead where the edge of a grey road flashed, and a candle sputtered for the last time before dying. Onwards, always onwards, until your feet can no longer carry you.
Adam falls silent, submerged in his own thoughts. Thank you for telling me about Grotus. I have learned enough for now.
Then let me ask you, what do you think of Grotus?
It was interesting to learn about him. No more, no less. Adam nods in contentment.
I'd be glad to talk with you about Grotus anytime, Jordyn. After all, that's why I travel in your company.
Have you ever regretted your decision to abandon Torag and start worshipping Grotus instead?
Your question might seem offensive, Jordyn, but I am not offended. I realize you ask it because you wish to learn more about Grotus.
Adam squeezes his beard in his fist, but in a moment he lets it free again.
Torag betrayed me, Jordyn. All he's ever done was look down with contempt on all my futile efforts to please him. Crafted armor plates, they fell apart with a single strike of the fist. I smithed swords, but they broke on the hilt. Torag's priests used to say that such failures were the curse of their uncompromising deity.
Adam's fingers grab his beard with such force that it seems he'll tear a handful of hair out of it.
It was Grotus that opened my eyes. He showed me that failure is a manifestation of his will. The end time is near, Jordyn, and every failure is just another step towards it. Torag's curse is only half the reason for my failure. The other half is the blessing of Grotus, which I have borne from early childhood.
Adam smiles warmly at his thought.
So the short answer for the question is no. I've never regretted opening my soul to Grotus.
From what I've heard, Grotus doesn't spare the minds of his clerics. They all go insane eventually. Is that true?
Ha! Who told you that? I like to look at that slanderer's eye.
Adam bursts into laughter, but you can't understand what's so funny.
You see, Jordyn, sanity is quite a relative concept,
Adam says as his laughter ceases.
Each of us is certain that he's the sanest creature in the world. Meanwhile, we periodically doubt the sanity of others. So what happens if 2 or 3 people claim that someone else is insane? Does that make it true? Perhaps the accusers have lost their minds themselves. The longer a cleric listens to the whispers of Grotus, the better he comprehends the essence of his designs, and the deeper his understanding becomes. When enlightenment comes, the mind of a cleric ascends to a new level of understanding, which is inaccessible to simpler souls. Is it sanity? This for you to decide, Jordyn. My decision was made long ago. When I reach enlightenment, I'll accept it with joy and delight.
So I can go for lawful good, or chaotic neutral, or lawful evil. Ha! Well, when you learn Grotus Divine's plans, remember to tell me about them. I could use a good laugh. Adam seems not to hear the irony in your words.
Oh, of course I will tell you. I will tell everyone. The word of Grotus would lead us forward unto the inevitable.
Yeah. So that's that. That's his opinion on things. Good.
Follow my lead.
To know, I suppose. We'll leave Tristan last. So this is a friendly conversation, part 2, I think. That's the name of the episode. Let's talk to Lindsay. Does she have anything new to say? No. So, nothing new from her. But we do have these two. Let's start with Regonga. God, he's such a name. What do you want? Have a little chat? Alright. It's not like we have anything better to do. Tell me about yourself. What is it to know? I was born. I'm alive. Haven't died yet. That enough for you? Do you remember your childhood? Regongar scowls. What a crap question. I was a kid when they sold me. Before that, I don't remember much. Smoky fires, stinky hides, always bumping along on a horse. I think I was born in one of the Kelly tribes of Numeria. There are many, some surviving their own, and some gave up their pride and served it technically. I guess mine was one of the cowards, if they sold their own kids. I remember my father's hands, rough, scarred, white. So, I guess I get this green screen from my mother, and I don't remember her. I think I remember playing with another half-orc child, a brother maybe. For some reason, they didn't sell him, just me. Father gave him his dagger to play with.
never gave to me. Ugh, I don't want to remember. Forget all this, I'm an orphan.
Regongar waves his hand wryly.
I grew up a slave, okay? That I remember well. So many things burn into my memory. Most of all, I remember her, my Octavia. Today, we are almost the same age, but back then, she was twice as young as me. Just a child. But a brave one, cunning, bold, beautiful, the most beautiful girl in the world. What deity do you worship? Ha! I never got much help from the gods so far. What if you make me choose? I'd say Calistria. Who else could I worship? The sacred Sting, the goddess of pleasure, fun, and revenge. Oh yes. You swear by her too, right? Great, great. She's the best deity for a ruler. She teaches you the most important things in life. How to have fun, and how to let no one cross you. Where did you get your magical powers? What magical powers the hells are you talking about? Oh, you mean these? Regongar makes lightning run over his hands with a contented smile, then snaps his fingers, invoking a shower of blinding sparks. Oops, I skipped over it. Got that. I've had them since I was born. Wait. Oh no, it's okay. At least one thing I can thank my scum parents for. Maybe these powers are why they sold me to slavery. Think they were scared? Who knows? Damn Medians. What do your tattoos mean? They are magical. They help me control my powers. They technically gave them to me. I hope that, somewhere on my body there was at least one sign left by my tribe, but nope. I guess they didn't care to bother. To hell with them. They better people, I never find them. They better hope, I never find them. If I ever meet my father, I will even the score between us. How did you manage to use both magic and the sword, and not cut off your fingers? It's simple. I'm just that bloody good. The half-elf gives a contented grin. Do you enjoy making people suffer? Why should I care about their suffering? I do what I want. If I step on someone's toes, then they shouldn't have put themselves in my way. But chasing someone down to torture them? That's only entertainment for maniacs like the Technic League. Well, on second thought. For them, I will make an exception. I love to watch as I fry them nice and slow. Hey, fine, do what you want. You stay out of my affairs. Oh. Oh no. I think I chose a evil decision. My mistake. Fuck. Oh well. My mistake. What you want to stay on? Actually, I'm going to go back and change it. I can change it. Yeah. Thank you for your answers. I think that's it for now. I have to go. So long. If you want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Just don't go pale when I answer. And Octavia. Hello. Octavia smiles at you flirtatiously. Caught any news? What should we... Could you tell me about your childhood, please? Octavia sighs. Too little. Some scraps of memories, no more than that. What exactly do you remember? Octavia reflects on that, tapping her fingers against her cheeks. Nothing special. Some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. The paint on them was peeling off, and I was standing on my toes, trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember the wild rose at the window. It kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its gnarled branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but it smelled of lavender.
Octavia wrinkles her forehead. I guess that's all. Not much there, right? All those memories. It's like they're not mine at all. I call some images, and I know I should feel something about them, but I don't remember what exactly I should feel. So let them rot in a swamp with tassel worms. Octavia grins cheerfully. My life's good enough without them. What do you know about your parents? You're half-elf, right? Am I? Octavia examines herself as if seeing herself for the first time. You know, I think you might be right. I'm rather slim and tall, and I can see well in dim light. She raises her hands and touches her ears. Uh-huh, they're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let's think about that logically. So my mother was an elf, and my father was human. Or maybe it was the other way around. My mother was, Finally, Octavia can't take it anymore and bursts into laughter, having spoiled her own act. So that's it. Now you know as much about my parents as I do, she says after her laughter subsides. Do you remember, they have really similar voices, in my head. Do you remember how you were enslaved? I clearly remember the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge pot belly and shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me. David shrugs. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slaver accomplices, and I never saw him again. When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall her words or her face behind the tears. Just that lavender smell. It tickled my nose and I wanted to sneeze. Did my mother sell me into slavery? But then why was she crying? And if she didn't want me to be a slave, why didn't she try to save me? Octavia twirls her hair, pondering over the thought, then sighs. One more riddle from my past that I don't care to solve. It must be horrible, being unable to recall your childhood. Oh, I recall my childhood in rather bright details. It was spent in dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on a straw mattress instead of a proper bed. Octavia smiles humorously, though I understand what you mean. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. If I could remember what I lost, it would probably just bring me more pain. Octavia shakes her head several times and makes herself smile again. So it's good that I don't remember much of anything. I want to ask you something else. So, both of them have been slaves for a very young age, both sold into slavery as children. Regangar is this very charismatic spellblade type character. I like him. I like him a lot. I like his attitude and the way he is being portrayed. I love Octavia. She's amazing as well. And then there's a lot of things I could talk with her about. But I think this episode is long enough for a filler, and we'll have plenty of time to talk to them about many a great thing. So we'll make more episodes like this in between main parts of story. Just so time passes by a bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and click the notifications bell for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.